it sound like. We good? Yeah, we don't have no start. We don't. We don't do no intro or nothing. You know, we just. You know what's up. Yeah. I see the text now, dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was last night.
Yeah, that's on my hair, man. I have my haircut like this.
That was a new. Y'all rappers be trendsetters. We thought that was the new get down.
Nah, they gotta save it ball when they do it.
Yeah, the head tats.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pain, though, huh?
Man, look, whatever y'all think it is that times a billion.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
I was planning on doing that for years. It just had to find the artist that I felt was good enough.
Gotcha.
That's the roses from my grandmother. That passed away, and she pretty much raised me. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, word. Okay.
Roses on both sides.
Nah, the other side says blessed.
Oh, okay.
It's a celebration, dog.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Matter of fact, Happy New Year.
Yeah, so it is New Year's.
To everybody in the
2019.
room as well as our listeners, man.
Yep.
HPOV, we back one more time.
Where we at, man? Where we at? Proper
yeah.
House.
Yeah, we got to show love to the folks who showing us some good Southern hospitality. Proper Creative. Y'all check them out on Instagram.
Shout out to them. They're killing it right now, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely killing it. But we got Mr. Steak and Shrimp.
Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah.
Last time we interviewed him, I think my business associate coined it so eloquently. What did you say? Chico? Yeah.
That was just one of my favorite,
Yeah, that's the
Tapes.
full-time thing now.
Yeah.
So
let's go ahead and
we
crack
have
into
to
that.
talk about that. So, I think Titty Boy was probably the last person I know to change his name, successfully.
Right.
After he was already successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you been getting any
Yeah.
blowback about the name change?
My number is quadrupled, so
Really?
Wow.
people
Wow.
can. I mean, you can look on Spotify right now. Type in less, you're gonna
You ain't
look
gonna
through
find
it.
it,
Not
yeah.
gonna find it.
Yeah.
It was just a thing where people couldn't find me. So we had another name. We actually planned on doing this in 2012, but I was a little too in the middle of coming up to feel comfortable doing it. And then now I'm just at the point like people who fuck with me. So
Really don't
I'm pretty,
matter.
I'm pretty comfortable with what I got going on. I mean, if you don't like it, I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Care to share the
It's
reason
logistics,
why?
and it's been my nickname pretty much way longer than I've been rapping. So
Really?
you know,
Okay.
yeah, So
So
That
that's what
makes
we're
there's a
getting
lot
to.
of like most of my rap homies and real homies, they don't even call me Les. And then just on technical matters, if you met a nigga in the streets and he told you his name was Chico and he told you his name was Les, what you gonna remember?
Makes a lot more
Fair
sense.
enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Okay.
So this was something that's already deeply rooted.
Oh yeah, I mean we had the project last year. You know what I
Yeah, the
mean?
Chico
It's
project,
just
right?
you hear me and Slim say it. I think and Slim says it, and the struggle continues. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
2012. You know what I mean? Like it's been a thing. That's why somebody told me yesterday like I'm not calling you that. And I'm like, bro, don't be mad if you call me my name in the streets and I walk past your ass. Don't be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like like if 2 Chainz tells you call him Tit. I mean, a Titty Boy tells you call him 2 Chainz. And just it's business.
It's
That's my
people's
real
stuff,
name,
though.
so it's like
Gotcha.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And it's
I
people's
don't know.
stuff,
I was speculating that it was like
Yeah.
some other underlying reason why you changed it. I didn't know.
Nah, it
some
was
reason
really
at
like
all.
just straight up logistics. Like it was like, okay, it'll be easier if we do this. Consult with my team, the people like whose opinion matters to me,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "That's a move.
Absolutely.
That should be the move." So it was like, cool.
Because it's not really affecting the Steak and Shrimp brand. It's just really just a name change as far as
It's
the rapper.
less the artist, and then, like I said, like we've seen how much. Put it this way: Steak and Shrimp 3 surpassed every project that I put out this year in 4 days in numbers because people could find it easier.
Wow. Okay.
So there's projects that's been out since
Okay.
March of this year that didn't stream what Steak and Shrimp 3 did because it wasn't able to be found. And now they're all going up too because it's like people are finding my whole catalog.
So you think it was the dollar sign in the
It
list?
was for sure the dollar sign. It wasn't just the dollar sign. It was 3 letters. Less is like a French term.
Mm-hmm.
So on Google, that's never like it's not gonna fly unless you have like some super team behind your thing, like labels and stuff. Then they had like another artist, I think like a K-pop artist or something like that, whose name is real similar. I think it has periods. And then so many people have butchered my name. Like since I started, there's people who put periods in it. period and a dollar sign, all this stuff, like different blogs. And so when you search my name, it's just like a big jumble of confusion. Like you don't know what it is.
Right.
So it never.
Just
I think the only
more
place where it was actually like, searchable was Apple Music, and that was an easy switch. But
Yeah, because that's what I use. I use
yeah,
Apple
yeah.
Music, so.
Like that's the only like people who had it right. Like we tried so much with Spotify. They're like, we have you verified, blah blah blah. But we're like in the search engine, people can't find us. Like we were still doing great numbers, but it was just like change.
It definitely works as Chico.
Yeah,
So it's super works. So it's like,
based on what you're saying, I can tell that there was no fear
Nah,
in the name change.
Like I said, at this point, man, I've been doing this for a minute. Like even though people try to still say it's new to a lot of people, but I've been doing this for a minute. It's like if you mess with me, you mess with me. If you don't, then okay. If that's what makes you not mess with me no more, then
You wasn't really,
like you wasn't really digging in the first place, man.
Nah.
I'm not really in tune with what people were saying on social media.
I saw, Twitter, and Twitter is not even the real world, bro.
Yeah.
like people say shit just to, get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
So
they do.
Yeah, you understand how that goes. People not really.
I mean, it was like
music.
it was like a small percentage of people tripping, but like I said, if that runs you off for messing with somebody that you mess with,
right?
Which and like I think over the years I've shown that I'm a pretty intelligent guy because I run all my own shit. I've never had help. It's just all DIY. I'm not a dumbass, so if I do something, there's a lot of thought into it. And there's a lot of like people that I speak with, and we break it down. And if it makes sense, we make the move.
So okay,
nothing is done off impulse, right?
There's so many segues in that.
It is because we was just talking about like the importance of a team.
Yeah.
Even like when we came in here, the Proper Creative House, they have a team here.
Right.
And we talked to Willie D maybe a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And he was talking about the importance of having a team.
Very important. You gotta have people to consult with, especially people that's been with you. In the mud. You know what I mean? Like if they know, like okay, this could kind of knock us off track, or this would be a better thing, or like if we're all on the same page. Because they're gonna give you the realest advice. I have no yes men in my circle. Thankfully, like everybody I'm around, we're pretty successful in our own right, so nobody has to kiss each other's ass. So like when we come together and consult with each other, it's usually a real thing.
So how hands on are you with the teamwork? In regards to artwork for the
everything.
projects.
I'm beyond hands on. I'm knee deep in everything I do. I have to be. Yeah, everything.
Also.
Merchandise. When you see a picture of OJ with gloves on saying DIY, that's me high in my car smoking. Like, hey, let's put this on the shirt.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And we sold a ton of those. It's just everything. A cover, like we'll be in Japan, like Lost in Japan. We thought we had shot a cover. We were about to leave the area the mountain that we were on. I seen it. I was like, George, we gotta go back over there. Got the tour guide to bring us back over there. Took the picture. That was the cover.
That's a dope cover too.
Talk about Japan for a little while, because as followers and fans, we saw pictures of you out there on Instagram, of course.
Yeah.
We saw you riding a Cadillac with these, I'm assuming Japanese gentlemen. Yeah. We saw you in a storefront with tapes and records. We saw Lil Kiki. It was like, man, this is a moment. Like, this is not no regular shit. This is in Japan. What the fuck is happening? How did that come about?
I mean, the promoters that booked us, they actually own a few record stores, and they've been buying hard copies from us for like 2 years.
Gotcha.
So it was just kind of like a thing on my end where when they reached out years ago, I seen the window like, okay, we want to get this market. Like, we want to get out there. They were buying the music. They were already buying the music. People were individually already buying and ordering merch and CDs out there. But now that it made it into his stores, which he has all over the whole area, it really went up. And then like when it came time to get booked, like he actually came out here.
Yeah.
Like he comes out here actually probably like his name is Shu.
Oh, okay.
And he comes out here probably like every 3-4 months, and he just buys up a bunch of old like down south G-funk rap. Like that's what they own out there.
He really owns like a record store.
Oh no, he owns a record store. They had Master P Dolls in there. They had Mr. 3-2 tapes in there, Black Monk tapes in there, old Rap-A-Lot, old like G-funk, like
are they speaking English?
Snoop Dogg porn tapes, like all the stuff that you can't like find.
The Girls Gone Wild.
The doggy style tapes. Yeah, the VHS, like all that stuff, man. It was cool. But yeah, man, it's just Japan's always been one of my favorite places because I'm real heavy into like the import cars and stuff like that. So You know, the whole Tokyo Drift JDM thing. Like, I've been into that since I was a kid, like reading their little magazines off. I had to order them off eBay. So it was always like a dream of mine to go to Japan and to be able to do that. And then, like, I'm going back in March for like another tour, like this time, like a multi-city tour. It's just, you know, it's like some dream come true stuff. And it's dope to be out there and they know songs that you don't expect them to know. And just seeing them all have your shirts and merch on already, like it's
that's
cool.
crazy. For you to be, you know, from the South, and they bumping you.
And then it's not like I'm even like, I mean, I'm real self-aware. I'm not the biggest artist in the world, you know what I mean? So it's real dope to even be like, yo, we're not even like just booming like that, but you know, they treated me like I was the fucking Weeknd or Drake out there or something. So it was cool.
Yeah, man. You never know the impact that you could have on somebody.
Right. And stuff like that, man, it keeps you going. Like, you know, I mean, we've been in a good place, but it just lets us know even more that we're doing the right thing, you know.
Right. So that was a team effort to get out there to Japan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, it was just like I said, we just sold CDs, built up the fan. It's just really basic. It's almost like 2005 hustling, like, you know how they used to do back in the day. You send CDs out somewhere, they buy them, people get onto you, then eventually there's a demand for a show, and you go out there, and you know.
No science.
Yeah, it's really that simple. It just, you know, like even like we're working on the UK and stuff right now, you just have to find those hubs. You have to connect the dots with those people in those areas. Even in the US, there's certain cities, certain markets, you might have to do a song with, you know, such and such in Atlanta to get Atlanta to really start messing with you. Then do something with the upcoming guy in New York in your lane to get, just like how like my fan base in America is actually the biggest in LA, bigger than Houston. And you know, that's because I've worked with so many dudes from out there. You know what I mean? And it's just, and the sound fits a lot. Like Caddy to them, like, you know, that's a huge West Coast sample, so like they're on that record tough, like still to this day. So, you know, it just, like I said, different areas just, if you're not on radio, if you're not just like an internet sensation that usually has like a whole label situation behind you, you have to just kind of like use basic ways to get into these different markets.
Yeah, it's free game. Yeah. This is all free game. Because I know there's been some controversy with Houston artists saying that there's no machine in the city to put them on. I think Slim kind of voiced his opinion about it, you know, because these younger artists were saying like, y'all OGs can't put us on even if y'all wanted to because y'all don't have no machine. But you came up under Slim, you know, you was with him doing the Boss Hog Outlaws days. So that's evidence enough, you know, that you can make it out the mud here, you know, without
definitely make it out the mud here, man. Who co-signed Travis Scott?
I think a lot of people just want to make it overnight, to be honest with you. Like, people just want to get on quick.
Oh yeah, everybody wants the quick thing because they think everybody that they see doing their thing came up quick. That's why I'm kind of, I don't want to say glad. I mean, I hope anybody who watches me sees like it's the grind. You know what I mean? If you like,
it's like 09.
No, my first tape came out the last month of 09, the last week of 09. Wow. And it's 2019, so it's about to be like December 2019. I'd be doing this officially 10 years. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
definitely not overnight. A lot of hard work.
Not overnight at all. And honestly, I feel like everything I did before E36 wasn't even like part of that. Like my career didn't start till that tape came out. Honestly, I say career because that's when you start seeing money and start. Right. You know what I mean? Like that's when like I became like an actual career artist at that point.
Let's talk about the Steak and Shrimp brand for a little bit and the projects. So this was the last Steak and Shrimp project, Volume 3. So you're totally done with the Steak and Shrimp project.
Well, not the brand, but the projects.
The projects,
right. Projects, man.
Those projects are pretty successful.
I think you took it to a new level with this one, though.
Yeah, I think we left it like my homeboy Todd. Things with Todd. He hit me and he said, "Hey, bro, you did it on this one. Like, you don't really like." He said, "Houston, all you shit." You know what I mean? Like he said, "You made that project." Really, I mean, we've done it. I think 2 was like that too because, I mean, I always tell everybody, people like nostalgic things. Yeah. And people nostalgia, and they like to say things and be like, "Oh, this was my favorite." Look, man, I write it. Number one,
I write it all.
I wrote it. Number one were songs that were left over that we were going to use for what was going to be Old English at the time in Steak and Shrimp, and that became Steak and Shrimp. It was a compilation. Asa just came out. It was just on some, hey, we got some cool records. I don't have a home for them. My brand is called Steak and Shrimp. We'll just put this on a compilation project. Had a lot of features, Steak and Shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay, it did that. Okay, did his thing. I was like, cool. When we were when Drama approached us about doing a tape, I was like, all right, cool. We might as well just make it volume 2. You know what I mean? And that was the one where we actually kind of locked down and went more into. You could tell the production and the way it was put together was a little bit more thought out than the first one. But even on that one, to this day, there's still some missteps for me on that project. And it's probably nothing that nobody else would notice. It's just certain songs that I didn't love. And sometimes I felt like we overloaded the project at that time. That's when we were doing like 18, 19 records. You know what I mean? And at that time, the way people was consuming stuff was changing.
Some people missed.
And I feel like on the third one, the length was perfect. We held off on a lot of records that could have been just as great that are on the project, but they will come out at another time on another project. And I really like the vibe of it, and I was real. This one I'm just thoroughly super proud of. Like, I feel like if you want to give somebody a less project, like this is one that you could just give them to, and they'll be able to identify my sound.
To catch the vibe.
I agree. I think it was very refined.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not to cut you off, and then I made it like a real point to stick with my bass as far as DJ Mr. Rogers, Happy Perez, and Chasing Cash, and Things with Tide.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then we introduced Mufasa in the mix this time. Yeah. Rogers had brought him to the table, and he had brought a cool vibe with the Amalgamation record. And
so he made that record.
Yeah, he made him and Rogers worked on Amalgamation and Center. Okay. And it was two cool beats. Because my whole thing was I was trying to sample. Like, my whole thing is like that record was inspired by Spody Opie Dopalicious. And I wanted to make a Houston version of that record, so that's the way we, did that. So if you like, people were like trying to figure out where we got that from. That's where the inspiration came from, in the bass line and all that. So
dope. Yeah, I really enjoyed the project. I couldn't find any flaws in it at all. But I did. Nice. We talking about the original Steak and Shrimp projects. I could get a sense that the first project felt like a compilation. The very first Steak and Shrimp, and the second one, it was long. It was
long. That's how I felt. Like it was just a few. I think there was just like 4 records that I could have took off, and it would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's still quality music.
It's still a classic.
But the way people listen, it's like music has changed so much, and there's so much music coming out. We gotta really live with the project. Even
this one is so in the pocket though, bro.
It is.
Yeah. When you look at with Rogers, first off, that's like, I don't know. The chemistry y'all have is just perfect. So when we get something new from y'all, and what I like about Steak and Shrimp 3 is that you did Houston without so much of the quote unquote coming down.
Nah, yeah, for
you
sure.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we want to make it like realistic. We want it to be like, just somebody that's here, not like, you know what I mean? Yes. Like, you don't want to be like just the cliche, you know what I mean?
It was new age, it felt like 2018 Houston.
Even like records like Love Song, like I would say when I was writing that record, it's like saying things about meeting a girl that was at PV and all that. That's stuff that people, I know me just growing up, that's what I relate to. That's what most of us, you say little things, places, like stuff that people can identify with. I don't go to the club, so I'm not really part of that lifestyle. I've been there, done that, but it's just, I'm trying to rap for the regular guys and women.
Let's touch on lifestyle. Wait, hold on. First off, let's touch on regular guys for just a second. Anybody who listens to Houston's POV podcast, y'all know we do this shit. We believe that we're cool and we're in the know or whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, we go to work every day, just like the people who are listening to our shit. So we try to keep that in mind while we're doing that. But that's why I appreciate when you say, dude, I'm a regular guy, but I rap and y'all niggas like it. So, fuck with me.
Not having to upkeep an image. It'll be funny, you'll see dudes who I'll be peeping little comments here and there because dudes be so, some fans or people who are into music be so fooled by these guys that they look up to and follow that they just don't know how to take in me just having fun. Like, you see me in a wrestling ring playing around. Oh, you're trying to be a wrestler? No, bro, I'm not. I'm just doing what I feel like anybody that grew up. Like, my cousins was in my DMs like, bro, you've been practicing for this your whole life. When we were all on the jumping off the diving board doing wrestling. Like, dog, it's just me. I just like the bust moves that I feel like anybody. If Booker T asked any of us to do that, Booker T from the Harlem Heat that we grew up watching on TV asked you, hey, do you want to do the Stone Cold Stunner? You just came out with a Texas Rattlesnake. Y'all gonna say no?
Fuck no.
Goddamn. I'm gonna like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, live, bro. I don't have to keep up no image for nobody. But
but that's tight though, and that's the thing is like we were having this conversation. I think we hadn't put this episode out, but we talked about on one particular episode. Y'all hear it in the future, where we were talking about how younger artists they haven't lived as much life yet.
Nah.
So a lot of times people shun younger artists because all they talking about is music, women, and drugs.
Right.
But they haven't actually lived. So they haven't created a lifestyle. They haven't found things that they actually enjoy outside of,
women.
Stuff that children, young people
can't
do.
Be mad at him because come on, dog. Like, look at Lil Pump. Like, what?
Oh,
like, imagine you getting that much money. Dog, if I had that much money and success at 17 years old, I wouldn't have had shit to talk about.
Exactly.
But that. Yeah. Exactly. Like, that's a lot of money to have, a lot of stuff to have at that age, bro. Like, you can't be mad at these kids. They didn't get a chance. Look, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all these dudes, Eminem, they came out 26, 27. It's different.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right now, like, dudes, like, even Spit all them, they got successful at a different age. Crit was just a little deeper. Kendrick was a little deeper than most dudes is. You're not going to get too many Tylers and Joey Badasses. They would just take the success and then, like, just keep, that was their lane. That's why they are the way they are. A lot of these dudes are, like, just accidental superstars.
Yeah.
No, that's
You know what I mean?
Just
like, you can make movies about all these kids. Just be like a kid at home with a mic. Make a song, and then 2 weeks later,
blow up.
Yeah.
You were just like you have $1 million in your pocket, and you're doing shows in front of 100,000 people at festivals.
Like what's his name from Florida? Triple X.
All these kids, and some of them are talented. Some of them is just some fly by night. But I feel like it's talent in all of it because if you were able to get that many people into what you're doing, it's something there. That's why I always tell dudes who like ain't into it, like, look. I don't make that type of music, but I can't hate on it because to me, like, I still bow my head when I hear it. I love to see when the kids are jumping up and down and loving it. It's what it is, man. Like, it's different. When we was growing up, bro, or I know dudes my age, when we were coming up, it was the rappers with big homies, and we was always looking up to rappers who were men. They were older. There wasn't too. We embraced Lil Wayne so much because he was the only dude who was young. And was cool, and was as like he was able to rap. He wasn't Bow Wow. He was able to rap as solid and real as all the older dudes was.
Yeah,
that's why we loved him. And he was. There wasn't too many more. I can't even think of anybody else at that time at his age.
No, he was.
Everybody else was big homies. Jay-Z was big homies. 50. All these dudes was big dogs. Like Outkast, they was older dudes. Well, Outkast came in young too, but it was just a whole nother era. But I mean. Like, you can't really, like, be too hard on these kids who just, like, having fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be a little bit of a messed up message. Yeah, it could be all that, but you can't say that if you 25, 35 years old, like, how you would be moving if you was 19.
Exactly.
Because I know, me personally, at 19, I would have been BG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have been Lil Wayne. I would have been straight shoot 'em up, bang, bang, selling crack, whatever. Like, that would have been my raps. Like, it just, that's all we knew. Like, that's all we listened to, so you're going to emulate it. These kids grew up listening to, like, Future and Gucci and you know, like, things like that. So, you know.
But back to the lifestyle.
Yeah.
One thing I want to pick up, you probably don't want me to do this, but I personally really fuck with this, is when you came out with the bikes.
Yeah.
Because shortly before the Texas Rattlesnake, I just bought a bike. I was like, bro, you got to get on this shit. I have got a Boulevard. I sold it because I started working out of town. But I'm coming back with a Harley just because.
Come on, man. We need more people out there, man. That's crazy. Me and Slim, we're just getting our vests together. We ordering some new ones.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, man. Yeah, we're getting ready for that spring, man. Yeah. I love, like, look, the bike culture, man. My dad. Actually, everything I feel like I'm doing right now is kind of hilarious because I just bought the car that my dad had when I was young. Like, just the current version of it because I just loved it so much. Yeah. It was like, he had like a 300ZX twin turbo, so I went and bought the Nismo 370Z.
Yeah.
Then he had Harleys. He still has Harleys, and I went and got a Harley. You know, it's just, I was influenced by my dad and my uncles. They was all in the Wolfpack MC, and, you know, it's a black bike club, and, you know, it just something I was always around, and I was like, want to get out and do it. You know, I loved it. I had a little accident, but you know.
Oh yeah, I think I saw. Yeah. So what happened?
I was on 45. So there was an accident that happened in front of me in the HOV lane, and we going like 65, 70 miles an hour. All I could do at the point was pretty much put it down. So I got a little road rash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. But, you know, it just goes to show that.
Like said, it's fire. Listen up, kids.
You can really get hurt.
It's the next wave.
Like, you can really get hurt, right?
Oh, yeah, you can get hurt. You got to be careful. It's cool to ride in packs. But, yeah, man, it's definitely fun, though. Like, wouldn't stop anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that we don't see. Like, we see it from older rappers. Like, of course, we seen Slim on the bike. You know, we just seen the OGs on bikes, but somebody that's on the set right now putting it down, we don't.
And that's kind of like what we
trying
to like. That's what I want to see. I want to see more younger dudes, like, you know, like 40 and under, like hop on Harleys and ride out. Cause man, I ain't gonna lie, in LA and the Bay, they doing it.
The
young like Mustard and them, like DJ Mustard got hard Harleys, like they got it, bro. Like that's, you know, that's the land of black Harley riders. That's where every influence. Like, there's dudes in Japan mimicking dudes like Rare Breed, Motor MC, and the East Bay Dragons, and all those dudes. They mimic them all the way down to the bikes, to the way they ride and dress in Japan. Like it's a big thing. So it'd be dope to see more, you know, of the black bike thing represented just in the culture and the music and stuff like that.
Yeah, if we could just get more creative.
Yeah, and just and not in a corny way. Like,
that's
I always like the Super High video that Rick Ross did, because he had a lot of known dudes in that video, and he just like, you know, it's a cool way to do it. I wish he would have just kept doing it. It would have been cool. Like, it would be dope to see a real movie about like black bikers, like not biker boys.
Hey, you know what I mean? Hold on. Let's not shit on Biker Boys.
I'm not shitting on it, but like Biker Boys just like they actually had like the real culture of the black MCs with like
they
Toby Levinston and East Bay Dragons. Like, there's real stories to be told. Like it's really as deep as like pretty much the black MCs kind of as usual started it.
Wow.
It's just we didn't get the credit for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you'll hear like the guy that runs Hell's Angels and talk about Toby Levinston, and like these two dudes were at the beginning of this, and the black guys were there. Yeah, they was already doing their thing. So, you know, and he's from Louisiana. He moved to the Bay. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And it's important to be fucking with Harleys.
Yeah, Harleys. Like that's why I'm not like Biker Boys is cool, but it just that was the Crouch Rocket thing. Man, I want to see boys on them Harleys, man. Yeah, like that's more of our thing. Like the bike, not shitting on sport bikes. That's a heavy. Like, black riders are pretty much heavy, in that, you know, the rough riders. That's a worldwide thing. I just want to see us get, you know, the same representation on the Harleys, man.
Right. I would love to see that too.
I apologize. We just had to have that segment.
I'm with it. I'm glad you brought it up.
Because man, he was when he got his bike, he was showing me the YouTube videos of them popping wheelies. I ain't never seen that before. Yeah. You know, I was like, damn, they popping wheelies.
Oh, they popping, man. Look, bro, I got homies in LA, man. Like, they're so serious. Like even just like I got like, you know, all kind of homies, black, white, everything. The Spanish homies with the apes on their bars and everything like that, and. Yeah, they just be getting down, bro.
But it's cool to be building the subculture here. Because, the bike set is huge in Houston.
Don't get it twisted.
It's huge. But, you know, it's just as much press and publicity that they have in LA, it should be here. Cause we
don't have enough. Man, they always say, ride them, don't hide them. And that's what goes on here a lot. We don't have enough things for people to pull up to where everybody just pulling out their bikes. Yeah. Like when they had like the Lone Star rally, oh man, it's nuts.
That shit is hard, bro.
You know what I mean? Like it's nuts. Like we were down there, it's crazy. It's a thing. But it's like we be mad because we're like, dang, why I can't be like this every weekend? Yeah. You know what I mean? At least once a month. You know what I mean? Like they got cars and coffee every month, and you'll like bikers. They'll have their own. Like, you know, they have. It's kind of segregated at times. Like you'll have the black bike set over here, the SA homies over here, the white homies over here, and I'm cool with a lot of them. I got homies in the Booze Fighters. That's MC. I met some good people with Banditos and all kind of stuff. So it's just all over the place. It would just be cool to see one thing where everybody comes together maybe once a month, you know, kicks it and brings out the bikes, clean and everything.
Speaking it into
existence. That's really like on us as, you know, the younger generation.
Yeah. I mean, like me and Slim, like, you know, we probably gonna try to do this little Hog Life club thing and try to see if we can maybe, you know, get it more people into, you know,
that shit would be lit, bro.
Yeah.
That shit would be live. I know, like, the Trouble in Paradise project, that was mainly, you know, trying to push the bike culture more and more.
Yeah, well, it was just like, It was cool. It wasn't really like trying to push it. It was just like, naturally just include what I do.
You just gotten into it? Is that what it was?
Nah, it wasn't even that. It was just like, and that's another thing. It was funny because like people just be thinking like, I guess because what you project on social media and stuff, people kind of assume they know everything about you.
That's why I like podcasts.
Yeah. It's like, and then I'm a real reserved dude. I don't really like run around trying to tell everybody my life story. You know what I mean? So it just was like, yeah, I've been into this, bro. You see me and my pops riding. So my pops riding, that lets you know. I mean, that's my pops. Like
he's probably
been around.
You know what I mean? Just start yesterday.
But like you said, people all they have to go off of is social media. So they see you doing the imports. Right. And they see you on a bike.
And imports is still my biggest thing. Like that's my passion. I love that the most out of everything. Just like a lot of the homies I know that in the bikes, they think it's low riders. It's like bikes is like kind of like a side chick, but we still love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So question. Is there gonna be another E36 project since we're talking about?
Nah, I mean it's not either. That wave is over with. There's gonna be something like that, but it's not gonna be E36 because that was a particular like car. Like I'm more like going to Japan and stuff made me fall more in love again with the JDM side of things, the Japanese whips. That's why I got like the Nismo 370.
Yeah.
And it'll probably it'll for sure be a Gran Turismo 2 this year.
Okay, that's dope. You know what project I really like?
I don't know. We're not gonna pass this up because I was just telling them the other day we was debating like what's your favorite project or whatever, and we were comparing creativity to what was it? It was creativity to concept, and his was Techno Violet, and mine was Gran Turismo.
But notice, okay, not to cut you off, I had to tell this to a fan the other day, and they were like, "Why you not doing no Mistaken Shrimps?" And I particularly said that shit limits my creativity. I was like, y'all keep me in a box with that sound that's not really my sound. Like I'm not no disrespect to the sound. I love it. It's fun. I did it. It got me into. I don't want to say it got me into the game. E36 is what made me become like the solo artist that I am. I just came in as a Boss Hog Outlaw. Y'all, my first collaboration with any rapper in my life was me and Crit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first person I ever even put vocals on the track with, and it's just. Yeah, I have that part of me that was that southern sound, whatever. But the E36, Techno Violet, Gran Turismo, Midnight Club, Realm, like that is more of me really. Even Trouble in Paradise, because honestly, Trouble in Paradise was leading up to be Gran Turismo too. It was just like I'm messing with these bikes right now. You know what I mean? Like so, it made more sense with the cover. You know what I mean? And then the concept, but like the music, like I told somebody, I'm like, yo, if you listen to the music. And you put that on a playlist with Gran Turismo and E36, guarantee you it flows. Yep. It fits. Like you could put it in between the projects and you'd be like, oh, it belongs. Because that's the type of vibe we was on.
I'm not going to lie. That's like my top project this year.
Trouble in Paradise? Nah, man. It was
so slept on.
It was slept on, but it was just like.
It was hard,
It was partly my fault. I don't want to say fault. It was just a thing that I told fools on a Monday that we were coming out on Friday. It was one of more of my like surprise things, and it was going to Japan like the 2 or 3 days after, so it was just like all to go together with that. Because like every year I always have like there's a method to my madness. Like every year, I think ever since like Old English, I've always like really planned out everything, and like it's always one project that's gonna come out the end of the year. That's pretty much the focus of the year, and then everything before it is pretty much just like. Things that I want to either like just I come up with at the time or I'm working on at the time because I work every day on music, or it's just like something inspired it. Like Lost in Japan, like that wasn't on the list of things to do, but when I was out there I wrote. You know what I mean? Yeah. 5 records, bam, here I go.
Yeah. So
like everything you'll see me do like 3 projects and then bam at the end of the year it'll be like the big project. So. Okay. Like this year, it'll probably be Gran Turismo 2 would be like the thing that I'm leading up to this year.
Okay, the major release.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Now back to the creativity part. Now I said I like Techno Violet,
right,
because of the creativity and how you released it.
Yeah, the way it's put together.
Yeah, like it was.
Yeah, some people hate it, some people love it.
And listen, I fuck with anime so hard. It was like. 2 worlds blended into one, and then the production was so cold. Like I feel like people should listen to it more, But I don't understand why it wasn't.
Well, 2 things that kind of like hates on E36 and even like Gran Turismo and Techno Violet is that was before the streaming era.
Yeah.
So those aren't on any streaming platforms because there's a lot of records that like some of those were just like loops of other people's beats. Like it was real. Like it was still. I was doing mixtape shit. It just wasn't the typical way.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean. I won't rap over like Drake's started from the bottom. But I might find like some beats on SoundCloud or like some instrumentals that like people never heard before, and we might just loop a part of it and I'll rap over it. You know, it's stuff that's not even meant to be rapped over. Okay. So, like that's like there's like what I might do this year is like take the half of the records on Gran Turismo. It's like really 90% of my Gran Turismo that we can put on, and then break down the records all Techno Violet that we can and E36 that we can put up, and put them on like some kind of like package streaming project playlist or something.
So do you and your team? I'm assuming that things with Todd, he's a part of your team also.
Right.
Do you guys sit down together collectively and try to think of ways to market the project? Album cover release, things like that. What songs should be the single?
Yeah, we do it together. Yeah, we definitely all put our heads together, especially Georgie. Like he's like definitely like my partner in business and like creativity. Like he's really the guy that I bounce a lot of ideas off of.
And George is your partner that's been around for
we've been working since like forever.
What about OG to Danny Ocean? Is he a part of the team?
Yeah. They have him and we all went to school together. We all went to U of H together. Me, Tubo, OG, that's OG Danny Ocean, Tide, Siraj. It's like they were in a collective called the Nice Guys. I don't know if you guys remember them.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, well, Ty made beats Ty was part of the Nice Guys. He made beats, and Tubo, OG Danny Ocean, he would do all the visuals and the concepts and things like that. And we all went to school together. They knew me before I even like cared about doing any rap. Mm-hmm. So it was just like it just made sense, and we were friends in real life. So it was just one of those situations where we've been friends. We just never did any work.
Right.
And it just made sense at the time, and we did Catalina, and people took to it well. Then Chico, and
another project. Yeah. Those two projects were also slept on. Catalina, Wine Mixer, and Chico. Chico was very good. Yeah. Very good. The production was good.
You'd be surprised. Chico actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a cool little run. Just that whole Midnight Club, Summer Madness, Catalina, and Chico, like the way they came out.
Yeah.
So you want to keep that going into 2019? I'm assuming.
The run?
That same creative run.
Yeah, I'm independent. I got to. That's how we eat. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta. I mean, and then at the same time, it's just like the way stuff is consumed now. Like, if you want to continue to be relevant and keep that fresh energy with you, you can't sit around too long. It's like food. Like, you can't sit on the shelf too long, you're gonna get spoiled.
That's the underlying thing. We keep. I mean, that's something we hear over and over and over. You got to keep working.
Yeah.
It seems like you've perfected it now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's times where like I hit gaps. Like there was a big gap between like.
Last year was a good year, man.
It was,
I don't know on your end,
but it was like
perception.
For schedule wise, like when Trouble in Paradise came out, that was actually supposed to be out in May. Like if I'm trying to keep my like once a quarter schedule, but I had like a little between like the Texas Rattlesnake and that. I just kind of hit like creative, like things happen, you just can't come up with it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I'll never force it. Like I'm just.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that. Like, you ever find yourself like kind of at a wall creatively?
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's never my fault though. I just blame the beats. I'm dead ass serious. Like if like.
Come on, Rogers.
It's all beats. Look, man. I love Rogers to death. Looking at the camera, that nigga works slow. He works fast as shit when he does it though. Yeah. Like he'll make a beat. Like I've seen the rhythm roulette thing. Like he make a beat so fast, but it just takes forever to get him from it. And I mean that's because of life. He's a busy dude. He does a lot of stuff. So
right.
So that's why it's good to have like Tide and then Happy Perez. Well, I'm lucky to even still be getting beats from because nobody like has a clue how big that dude's legitimately been the biggest producer out of Texas probably the last decade.
Damn.
Wow.
Like that new Ariana Grande record that's like going bazillion times platinum right now. He produced that.
Wow.
A lot of Frank Ocean shit produced that. Miguel and Travis Scott, he produced that.
Hey, man, we gotta start reading credits, man.
I mean, he's an OG. He's 40 years old. I mean, he's a vet. You know what I mean? He produced how you do that though. It's a Master P.
You do that there.
So he's been in the game since he was 17 years old. Yeah. Been doing his thing, and now he's doing crazy pop records, like you know what I mean, like on another level, and still produces my shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how 100 he is. Like he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely another person that showed me how to eat in this game. He actually showed me how to eat off music. Like nobody showed me how to make money off music except him.
Once again, back to what Willie D said, gotta have a mentor that actually shows you how to do it properly.
Right. Yeah. Like a lot of people, and it's not no mistakes to anybody else. It was different eras for everybody. So, like, Slim came up at a certain time. He knew a certain way to do things. It changed, and he was learning the new way to do things at times. And now he even takes advice from me. And even Spitter will even tell me, man, I wish I could just snap my fingers and just know how to make shit work a certain way. Yeah. But like what he did in 2009 and Wiz and all them and Wale and Cudi and all them dudes. But if you think about it, it was only like 10 or 15 of them.
It was that time capsule. It was something about that time.
It was a perfect time, and it wasn't too many.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to come out with music at the tail end of that and catch like a good fan base, because like I caught the very end of that. Me and Crit we caught the very end of that shit. And then now we have like, it just like when SoundCloud came out,
it blew up.
It was like it was like one of the movies where like just the aliens show up and there's like a million of them invading.
At that point, everybody saw the money.
Everybody saw the money in it.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if people get paid from SoundCloud or not.
I don't mean SoundCloud, but I mean like you got if I'm 16.
Oh, you just see me like dudes buy a microphone and blowing up. Yeah, for sure. Like
it just got extremely easy.
Like Currency and Wiz, like they got it out the mud, underground style. So you was like, man, these dudes can do it.
Both had deals that didn't work and had to go back and start over. Like even Nipsey had a deal. He's been promoting Victory Lap for like 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
And he did it. Got a Grammy nomination. Yeah. Like, man, how you love that? Like,
hard, you know what I'm saying?
Album, like even like Gibbs, my nigga. Like, look how long it took. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes had to put in.
But I
work.
feel like guys like y'all, like you, Gibbs, Nipsey, you guys will continue to maintain in the game.
Oh, yeah, we here.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all in the race no matter what.
Yeah, we here. Like we gonna stop when we feel like it. Pretty much. Like, everybody, a lot of other dudes, no disrespect, it's gonna be over when it's over. Like when the people, like no offense, when them little white kids get done jumping around at your shows and they go from 19 to 25, it's over. And there's no disrespect. It's just like you gotta know who you speaking to. You gotta be self-aware. Yeah. Like I had when I had my little show here the other day, that we announced that 5 days prior to the show. Yo, I seen people in that crowd that I see when there was 10 people at my shows.
Yeah.
I've seen them. Like, they was there. Like, a lot of people, I've watched my fans grow up. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I watched them go from just being straight little 16-year-old steak and shrimp to being, like, grown 21-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like, just handling their business.
That's the point of doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not releasing people and, it should feel like a family.
Yeah, it do. And I really dig it, man. It's all over the country like that. Like, when you go places, you just run into the same faces over and over. Like, they show up. So it's cool, man.
That's real, man. Yeah. I fuck with that.
I think it's dope, fool. I think, like,
especially knowing the type of content that you're putting out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like I know motherfuckers be real when they, like, I'm not saying I just make real nigga shit. I'm just saying, like, I know who I speak to, and I just think, like, people who like my stuff, like, they cool. You know what I mean? Like, they on a different wavelength than a lot of people. So.
Yeah, I respect it. All right, I'm good, man. I'm good. This has been amazing, man. This is our second interview.
Make sure y'all get everything.
We got everything out the way the first time, so really this is just us trying to just set a standard for 2019. What is going to continue to be like. In regards to platforms like HPOV and like underground rappers like Chico here. This is what we're doing. This is what we're gonna continue to do.
Yeah, we're striving to pull off the best less interviews known to the internet.
No, it's fire.
So people might have like fancy graphics.
They go, I didn't ask about such and such.
Yeah,
listen.
Maybe next time
Currency cool. Like that. Like y'all go, man.
Listen.
I think it's kind of obvious. Y'all don't know that, then y'all just don't get on the internet and y'all don't have social media. Like we pretty much like we it's 100
in real life. Yeah.
I gotta think people keep their like real relationships, everything in which I see on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Y'all just be late to it.
For sure.
So yeah.
Listen, we waiting on that Spitter interview, so it's coming this year.
Man, it shouldn't be hard to get with it. He just had a show out here a few days, right before mine.
Yep, speaking into hey Musa. You know where to find us.
It is.
You know where to find us, man. Pieces POV podcast.
Might just have to make that drive to New Orleans. Y'all might be able to get it easier.
It'll be easier.
Shit, I'll pull up.
I know. You pull up, it'll be easier for.
I'll pull up. You got anything else, bro? I know you got a
question.
You
Harley, man.
already taped it out. Man. It's time to come up on a Road King.
Yeah.
A Road Glide.
Nah, get something with a fairing. I had a Road King.
I like the Dynas, but I'm a big dude.
You're a big dude. I have a street. I got a street glider.
Yeah, street glider.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say street glider, road glider.
Yeah, I like the little short.
Road Kings, like they don't have. I had a Road King. That was when I was on the cover of Trouble in Paradise, and it didn't have a fairing, and I don't like the way windshields look.
I don't either. I hate them.
So like you don't want the windshield. Get a bike with a fairing. You got your music.
Yeah, fixed fairing.
You know what I mean? And like on the black bike set, like people like Road Kings, but most of them like the full dresser. You know what I'm saying? Like had it, you know.
With all the glitz and the glam.
You know, get it painted, get the front part painted or something. You know what I mean?
Get a little
paint job on. Yeah, man. It's just like
come down,
like a big old sofa, man. Like riding on the sofa, like you know what I mean?
Oh man,
it's fun though, man.
That's what's up, man.
Fucking Chico,
man. So appreciate you, man.
$2,
man. Pieces POV podcast. Yo, we out, man. We out. Peace.